I've done tons of money makers and I thought now would be the time to go through them all and test out which ones are actually the best of the best. So here's the top 5 money makers with no requirements. And number 5 is making crystal keys that are used to open the chest in Taverley. Obviously you want to buy the halves as cheap as possible, so if you can, try to slow buy them for a cheaper price so you can maximise your profits. Next you just need to make the keys, but rather than clicking on one piece and then another back and forth, it's slightly faster to click on one and then after that click twice every time. The first of the 2 clicks makes one key and the second click selects it to make the next. So I bought 100 of each key just to show off this method, which slow bought in about 5 minutes and cost me 2.07 million GP. And in just 1 minute and 27 seconds, I turned them all into keys. Those keys sold instantly for 2.17 million GP after tax for a 100k profit, working out at a very tidy 4.7 million GP per hour. But with this one, although you can jump straight into it and start making money right away, you obviously have to wait for the time in the GE for the items to buy. Next up we have bone running, and there are a few Discord set up for this and they pay very well. I personally have found find runners to be the easiest one to use, but that's just my opinion. Bone running is not the most profitable of these methods, but it is one of the easiest. This service is running bones for 2 types of players training prayer at gilded altars. Ones that want to absolutely maximise their prayer XP and who pay up to 3 million GP per hour, and ones that just want to AFK and not have to go outside to unnote them, and they normally pay around 1 million GP per hour. If you're running bones for those casually training, they take around 1 minute per inventory, so that's the time you have to go out, unnote some more bones and get back to them, whilst having a chat on the way, walking the dog and making a brew. However, whilst the 3 million GP per hour is much more money, those players do an inventory in just 20 seconds by one click offering bones, so it will be a much faster pace without a break for however long they need you for. The good or bad part of bone running, depending on which way you look at it, is the rank system is based on a deposit you give the Discord ranks. That deposit ensures that runners don't disappear with millions of GP worth of bones. The ranks start off at just a few million GP each to buy, and if you have the money for a higher rank, there's nothing stopping you getting a 3 million GP per hour roll straight away. At number 3 we have potion decanting. Every day millions of potions are traded on the G in different doses and the prices have never been linked. To add to it, this guy, stood about 8 squares away from the GE, will transfer any potions into any dose, free of charge. So all you need to do in this method is to work out for any potion how much each dose costs. For example, a super strength 4 dose potion is currently worth 3,455 GP, a 3 dose is 2,489, 2 dose 1,508, and a 1 dose 767 GP. All you do is divide the price with the amount of doses there are, so 4 doses cost 3,455 GP divided by 4 equals 863 GP. Do that for all of them to work out the price per dose for each potion. Then the cheapest price of all 4 is what you want to buy at, and the most expensive price is what you want to decant into and sell at. In this case we want to buy 2 dose potions and sell 4 dose potions. Or if you want for a smaller, faster profit, you can buy in 3 dose potions and sell in 4, because we buy and sell far more 3 and 4 dose potions on the G, since the herbalists make 3 dose potions and most of us want to buy 4 dose potions. And number 2, we have armor sets, and some can even be done on free to play. There are tons of item sets now, and a lot of players don't want to buy every single piece individually when they decide to buy some gear, so they just buy the item set. The wiki even tells you exactly how much you make by buying the individual pieces and selling them as a set. But there are a few things to note. You should always test any item set first, because prices change all the time and you don't want to get caught out. Secondly, don't just buy at the current GE price for items, as I can almost guarantee that will result in getting 2 or 3 items very quickly and having to overpay for the last 1 or 2 pieces that are going up in price. You're best by starting out low and slowly increasing your offers. That way you buy some much cheaper, and if you have to overpay for others, it balances itself out instead of eating into your profit. Once you know the market, you can then put in offers for multiple sets. You can also do this with Barrow's gear by buying broken armor, repairing it and selling it as a set. Although to do this with no requirements means repairing it through Bob in Lumbridge, which costs more than someone could do it in their house. Finally, we have the one that will always be my favourite, hunting dragon implings. Now you may think, why does that have no requirements? And that is because you don't actually catch them, you just spot them for Iron Men. They pay a lot of money for each impling using their main account, and that really is all there is to it. All you need to do is join the Discord, the Grotto, go into the InBuyers chat and type "and sell." It will then come up with a list of buys and how much they pay for each one you find. There's a lot less buys than there used to be, sadly, but at peak times there's still a few, and currently there's one person that regularly buys for 4 million GP per imp. I've done a guide on the best places to find implings and I will link it below. There's a map of impling spawns currently, but I've found the best places are the ones not on it. This is my favourite spot in Mauritania, although this one does require Priest and Peril to be finished. All I do is stay in one spot on Hot Worlds over and over again by this impling spawn spot until I see a dragon impling. This spot normally finds 1 to 2 per hour, which still makes a tidy 6 million GP per hour. Next week I will be testing all the shops across Gilnor again to see which ones are now the most profitable, so don't forget to subscribe if that's your thing.